The way we framed him in the campaign is the unlikely hero. And I think it's a really interesting story because his name actually popped up in American pop culture or mainstream news culture as part of the impeachment trial for Donald Trump back in 2020. So you'd heard his name as like the guy on the other side of a phone call, sort of getting bullied by Donald Trump, and he kind of like it was easy to forget that man it was part of our story for a minute, just disappeared for a while, and then all of a sudden, 2022, you have Putin invading Russia, and there's Zelensky again. It's the same guy. You'd heard his name before. You'd seen him like awkwardly sitting next to Donald Trump at one point, but now you see him and like he's like the perfect leader for this moment. It's just like this super inspirational character. He has this real strength that comes across, but it's humble, and he just he sort of represents the opposite of everything that we've come to associate with politics. Just like he's strong, he's humble, he is a good-hearted person, and I think a lot of people are just sort of catching on to that energy and feeling like he's someone that they want to emulate. Obama was the first figure that we made, and we did that back in 2008 when he was before he was even the Democratic nominee for president. And that was a tough call because Hillary Clinton was supposed to be the front runner. But back then, I made that decision because you could kind of see that there was a lot of excitement and enthusiasm for Obama. He was just like different than Hillary in that way. Zelensky reminds me of that, and that's when we choose a character now, it's really what we're hoping for is someone that people have a genuine passion about. So we can sense that the audience out there has a similar energy about him as they did for Obama in 2008. But there are also a lot of differences now because back then, Facebook I think was still like a thing that college kids used, and all the sales were happening in stores. There was no Kickstarter as far as I know in 2008. So then it was just you would make something and you put it out in the world, and then it has to get into stores, and then people buy it there, and then you find out if it's popular. Now what we're doing is we just take a sculpture, we take photos of it, and we can put it up on Kickstarter, and we can see right away like is this something people are excited about? Is this something that the world wants? And in this case, it was really clear right away. It was like, yeah, he's a keeper. We've been doing political action figures for years now, and we've always done left-wing American politicians.
I feel like my eyes. I'm like much worse at this than I used to be. He sculpts them out of clay. Yep. Yeah.
It's the first time that we've made a foreign leader, and we didn't know if our audience was going to come along with us. But we also felt like it was the most relevant story of the moment, and there seemed to be a sort of groundswell of energy and support for what's going on in Ukraine. So we were excited to make him. And then also part of what we do with our action figures is every time we make one, we align it with a cause. So for every figure that we sell, $1 goes to that cause. And we wanted to do something where we could raise money for Ukrainian refugees.
He didn't have any silver on him, right? We were doing all brown. Okay, great.
It hasn't even been live for 2 weeks yet. I think it's been about 10 days so far. And on first the first day, I think our funding goal was $30,000, and we hit that in like 3 hours, which is way faster than we expected. And then I think by the end of the second day, we already had brought in 70,000. So now we're about, I want to say it's 8 or 9 days into it, and it's still just keeping on going.
Right side, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'm more of a perfectionist, so I need to let it go. Yeah.
Can we get some of the dark brown on the hair too?